One of the most frustrating things might be when you can already identify something that no one else can yet see. We've previously covered this idea with our little Venn diagram of crowd pleasing short term ideas, disruptive, innovative long term ideas, and good ideas. But the important thing to remember is that while being that person, embracing the long term, innovative, disruptive idea can be the most frustrating near term experience, it can also be the most rewarding long term experience. In Cardano, it's become abundantly clear that we are right there. Ready? Let's go. Today, we are going to discuss multiple items related to this being ridiculously early phenomenon, a Pavia update, a Cornucopias update, an Ada Realm update, so lots of metaverse things, and JPEG Store with an open source move that I hope is tone setting for the entire Cardano ecosystem. If you enjoy standing in a field of tall grass and watching a golden hued sun rise in the morning, or if you're finding value in these videos each weekday, please consider, I would love it if you would consider delegating to the Army of Spies stake pool, ticker AOS. We just had a great run, basically partially while I was gone. We had a great run of a large number of epics where we had more than 100% luck. You can check that out on any of the websites where they have stats on stake pools, but a great run for the stake pool. And I would love it if we could get over 8 million in delegation. We are just under that number. I'd love it if we could somehow pop over it. So please consider delegating to the stake pool. What is this? At first glance, this looks like exactly the kind of tweet we love to see. This is a tweet from Yanni Asia. Who is this? He says, he lets us know he is the founder and CEO of eToro, passionate about economics, internet, technology, and blockchain. Some say invented NFTs. I love the ambiguous claims to fame. It's like seeing somebody saying like, have been referred to as a pioneer on public access television. it's like, hey, either you invented NFTs or you didn't. It's like, do you even believe you invented NFTs? Who is it? Is this like your children, your wife say you invented NFTs? Your brother says you invented them? Who's saying you invented NFTs? Did you or not? Or I'm sure he's indicating that there's this ambiguous possibility of attribution. Maybe a lot of people were involved in the evolution of NFTs and he played some small role. He's just being humble. I don't know. But I love the ambiguous claim to fame. More importantly, though, upon closer inspection of this tweet, we see, he says, talking about Ada with IWHK Charles in LA. This is great. We know Charles is in LA. They both look really happy. They look like they just had a great conversation about Cardano. I can't tell what Charles is saying there, but Yanni looks pretty stoked about it. He looks pretty happy. It's not, you can even look at his body language. It's like comfortable body language. He's not uncomfortable that he's being associated with Cardano here, which we've seen in the past. But then you read the second half of this tweet. Talking about Ada with IOHK Charles. NFTs, metaverse, and fork coming! Exclamation point. God damn it, Yanni. NFTs coming? What? Dude, come on. You're the CEO of a large crypto exchange. And you don't know that Cardano has NFTs. God damn it. You just barely talked to Charles. I'm sure he mentioned, I'm sure you discussed that there are NFTs in Cardano, but you know so little about Cardano. You've looked into Cardano so little that you don't even know we have NFTs. God damn it. We are so early, guys. This man is a heavy crypto insider, and it's not like his entire crypto world is inside of one blockchain and that's all he's thinking about. He runs a large centralized exchange. That means his business is probably, substantially, partially to be aware of what's going on in the larger crypto space. He needs to know what coins they should include in their exchange, what coins they should be paying attention to, what blockchains are making big new moves. He sat down, I assume, or stood something, had some kind of substantial conversation with the founder of Cardano. And even after that conversation, as happy as he is, look, how many teeth is he showing us? That's a lot of teeth. That's a happy smile with a lot of teeth showing. Even given all that, he still didn't understand that we already have NFTs. It's so early. Nobody knows, even inside crypto. People don't know what Cardano's already done, and they have no idea what we're going to do over the next few years. Here's another example. Watcher Guru says, fun fact, Cardano network has averaged more than 100,000 daily transactions for 15 days in a row. One of the first non-Cardano replies to this in my feed is this. This poster says, laugh my ass off, good joke. there's no I'm being sarcastic, smiley face, nothing. Just laugh my ass off, good joke. That's the response to Cardano is doing 100K transactions for 15 days in a row. Even facts, as this poster pointed out, even facts are no longer relevant for, or I should put it this way, they're still not relevant. Facts are still not relevant when it comes to Cardano versus other blockchains for some significant chunk of the larger crypto space. This is how early we are. Raw, unadulterated data like this is still unpersuasive to the masses in the face of group sentiment like this, which is squarely in the camp of short-term crowd-pleasing thinking that is definitely going to favor the incumbent. In short, if you are confused and mystified by the inability of the rest of the crypto space to see what's going on with Cardano, fear not. This always happens when you're ahead of the curve. We're just early. Let's talk metaverse projects. We got some pretty good updates from Cornucopias in their Copy Cafe episode 5, which was released recently. They say the Chainport Bridge for their BSC token will be available for any token. So it's actually a real ecosystem infrastructure addition for Cardano. The Copy Wiki, that's going to be a Wikipedia for Cornucopias, is close to being released, maybe a week away. The mobile game is coming along. It sounds like they're working on 10 levels at a time, and there are something like 100 levels. They won't launch the mobile game with play to earn features for security reasons. Rob says the Cardano testnet will be valuable so they can launch on the testnet and identify security holes. They're creating a video in Unreal Engine 5 for the upcoming land sale. They've built out the first sector and the first zone, and they're now recording that. It sounds like it might involve some video on how you get from your home bubble to the zones, and also something called the cloud gates that'll be in the Wikipedia, in the Cornucopias wiki. Cornucopias was really ready for Unreal Engine 5 when it dropped, where a lot of projects were not. And this makes sense because they've been talking about starting to build an Unreal Engine 4, but trying to be ready for Unreal Engine 5 for a long time now. I think they really were sort of ahead of the curve. I think a lot of projects are like, oh, we've got Unreal Engine 5 now. I guess we should completely switch how we do everything so we can do it in Unreal Engine 5. It sounds like Cornucopias planned ahead and they were ready for Unreal Engine 5 all along, or at least they were on a plan to be ready for it as soon as it dropped. They think the Cornucopias land sale is going to be the best land sale ever. They're going to do another mint of something possibly small as a test mint. It may be even less than 10 ADA. The price isn't set yet. Maybe more than 10 ADA, maybe less. It'll really just be to test their mint technology. There may be a few follow-on test mints as well. There will be 5 different sizes of land parcels. The smallest will be 16 meters by 24 meters. If you are from the non-metric world, that's about the size of an NBA basketball court. Okay, so if you're from the non-metric world and you know what size an NBA basketball court is, that'll be useful. Otherwise, it's pretty decent size, pretty big. On this size plot, you could have a small merchant shop, you could farm, you could have a little ranch. This size of parcel will be approximately 50% of the plots. So By that, we can surmise that approximately 50% of the plots will be even bigger than this NBA basketball court size. I'm really excited to see what the Cornucopias virtual world looks like, the entire thing. I want to see what kind of real economy can be created inside a metaverse virtual world project. I would love it if any metaverse project in Cardano comes to fruition and there are people in there actually making some dough. Because let's face it, the really intriguing thing about metaverse projects is that you can interact with people. Sure, that's definitely a big piece of it. But also this idea of making some ducats. What if you can go in there and actually make a little dough? I think all of us over the years, as we've played video games, we've thought to ourselves, man, I'm working so hard here. I'm working so hard and I'm happy to do it. It's fun, but I'm still working hard. I sure wish that money, those drachmae in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I really wish that was real money because I've got a lot of it and I've worked really hard for it. I wish those were some real ducats. The metaverse project, I think that can do that when you can go in and just kind of grind away, but in that video game grinding sense where it's actually kind of fun to do it. We don't mind doing it. You don't feel like you're at work. It's not like your office job. It's like something you're choosing to do on a Saturday night. The metaverse project that can do that and have it be real money in the crypto sense of real money, that's going to be a pretty big advancement. That's going to be a pretty big step forward. Sure, we've had people talk about various video games of the past, RuneScape and things like that, where the money eventually had some kind of value. But I think we're at this inflection point where in crypto, we're about to get some metaverse projects that are actually fun to play, where the in-game currency is a real cryptocurrency and you can just go in there, do your thing, play the game, actually make real money and be having fun at the same time. I'm really curious to see if Cornucopias is that project. And it sounds like we're going to find out at some point soon. No dates set for any of this, but I love that we're inching closer and closer. Also, let me know in the comments, what do you think is going to be cooler? The samurai zone, the age of feudal Japan zone, I don't even know what they're calling it, but it's like a samurai zone, or the Western zone. I'm assuming those aren't the only two zones. Maybe there will be additional zones. Those are the only two I ever hear anybody talk about. But out of those two, what do you think is going to be cooler? Samurai zone or Western zone? We also got a video from Ross of Pavia with some updates about Pavia's build out. Pavia right now is working on their builder tool, which is set for Q2 release. I think this is going to be a big deal. We've seen people sort of starting to offer, services to build out Pavia compatible assets. You see people offering those kind of services on Twitter right now. But the second we can actually build out our own little buildings on our parcels, that's going to be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to building out some kind of structures on the 3 parcels that make up AOS Beach, Spy Beach in Pavia on the mainland. It's only 3 parcels, so it's not some kind of gigantic, sprawling piece of land with like 9 parcels or anything like that, but it's 3 beachfront parcels on the mainland, and it'll be a little place where we can occasionally on a Friday night or whatever, all sit at home with our beers or our whiskeys or whatever you'd like to drink, and we can be in Spy Beach with our little avatars, conversing and mingling, having a great time. Ross says they're also working on their chat tools. I believe he referred to party chat and proximity chat. I think if you've used Decentraland recently, I think you'd probably agree that the chat function is a little bit buggy. I'm in there about once a week for a meeting, and the audio is always a little bit buggy. I think if any of these Cardano metaverse projects can nail the audio so that when you're using the audio function in the metaverse, it's just as easy as talking on a Zoom call, that's going to be a pretty big step forward. Hopefully, Pavia does a great job on that. Ada Realm also gave us a little update. I've got a bunch of parcels, bunch of beachfront parcels in Ada Realm. So I'm always rooting for Ada Realm to put out a great virtual world for the same reason. I'd love it if we can use that as a base for some little Friday night sessions. You can see, so this is a mock-up for their editor interface. It looks like this is for building both things on the land and your avatar. It's as you can see, it's pretty voxel based. This is very different, obviously, than the Unreal Engine 5 type build outs that projects like Cornucopias are talking about. But hey, I don't care if my avatar has a square mouth. As long as he can drink whiskey, then he'll be useful for our little Army of Spies sessions on Friday nights. Finally, this last item is something that may not seem like a big deal, but I think it's actually a very big deal. JPEG Store has a new smart contract and they have open sourced it. So I think in general, we can say that a system will operate well if the incentives result in the good of the individual being aligned with the good of the group. And in this case, I think that's true. I think open sourcing your smart contract at least in the Cardano ecosystem is good for the individual project and it's good for the ecosystem. Here's why. So if we look through JPEG Store's thread, they say, why open source our smart contract? First, we believe it's ethically the right decision. The entire point of Web3 is to be trustless and decentralized. How can you trust a smart contract if you're not able to read the code? Very much agree. And it's also great because people can see how you construct your smart contract. They can copy it. If you have some innovations that are useful, somehow you're making it more secure, more efficient, whatever, then other people can make their smart contracts more secure, more efficient. They say another reason we decided to go this route is to enable the community to check for exploits ahead of our launch. Exploits look bad on our entire ecosystem when they occur. Therefore, it's better to have more eyes on our contract. It's good for them and it's good for us, all of us in the ecosystem. They know the worst thing that can happen as a project is if you accidentally build a lobster trap and the bad guys come in and exploit it. They harvest the lobster trap and all of your customers' money is gone. That's the worst. That's pretty much the worst result. That's the worst thing that can happen. And to help prevent that, they realize there's a really common sense solution. Sure, you do security audits with high level auditors. You do that. But sometimes you do that and you still get exploited. So why not just open source the thing? Let the entire community look at it. And then if it gets exploited, you can say, hey, we open sourced it. It wasn't just that we couldn't see the exploit. Our auditors couldn't see the exploit. Nobody could see the exploit. We open sourced it and nobody looked at it and said, hey, there's an exploit here. So this is a great thing for the individual project here, JPEG Store, but it's also great for the community. And on top of that, they're doubling down. They say to compensate the community, we will offer up to a 50,000 USD bug bounty. This is perfect. This is exactly the kind of behavior we want to see out of our Cardano projects. I applaud this move by you, JPEG Store. I hope a lot of other projects do this as well. I hope you're having a great week, and I will talk to you tomorrow.